Boardmaker activity pad, a voice output device that brings any activity board made using Boardmaker software or other printed material to life by recording messages and sounds. The device comes with 10 smart pockets, plastic sleeves into which you slide an activity board or photograph. Each smart pocket contains a memory chip that allows you to create 2 completely self-contained activities, one on each side. The Smart Pocket chip holds a total of 4 minutes of recording that can be spread over as many as 32 buttons per side. Before beginning, we will familiarize ourselves with the device. The power switch can be found on the right side panel. Next to the power switch, there is a headphone jack, as well as a data port. On the left side panel, there are 4 jacks into which switches can be inserted. The battery pack can be found on the back of the device. On the front, there are 11 user control buttons. The record button is used to select the recording setting when creating new messages. The tools button leads to a settings menu. The horizontal and vertical arrows are used to navigate through settings within the settings menu. OK is used to select settings and save changes within the settings menu. X is used to exit any selection. The volume controls lower and higher the volume. The hand allows you to stop a message in the middle of production. The screen found in the middle of the device displays messages that confirm that the Smart Pocket is properly inserted, that the device is ready to record, or that the device is processing or on sleep mode. It also displays the settings menu. The plastic keyguard is used to support accurate button selection. Let's begin. First, turn on the device. While the device is loading, insert the Smart Pocket containing the activity you're going to use. We are using a Simon Says activity. If the Smart Pocket is not properly inserted, a message will display on the screen. To correct this, just slide the pocket up and into the upper slot. In order to record messages for the activity, you must initialize the current side of the Smart Pocket and select a style and layout for the activity. We've already set up our board, but we will walk you through the steps. To do this, press the Tools button. Press OK to edit Smart Pocket and scroll with the arrows to find Initialize Side. Press OK, and then here you will find your layouts. Use the up and down arrow to select the style. For this board, we used a standard style. The left and right arrows are used to find the layout. We used a freeform. Press OK when done. The next step is to add buttons. We need to add a button for foot. Go back to the Tools setting, Edit Smart Pocket, and OK to add a button. You touch the upper left corner of where the button is to be and the lower right portion of the button. It is now completed. Press OK to return to the main menu. Now we want to record a message onto our button. Tap the microphone button and hold the button down while you record your message. Foot. While it's saving, press exit by pressing the X.
Foot.
As mentioned before, the Smart Pocket can hold 2 individual activities. If you wanted to add an activity to the opposite side of the Smart Pocket, you want to make sure to delete any previously saved activities. To do this, flip the Smart Pocket over and reinsert. Go to the Tools menu, Edit Smart Pocket, scroll to find Erase Side, press OK, OK again. Now it's a clean slate. To continue generating the activity, you would use the directions demonstrated earlier in the video. You want to initialize the side by going through Tools, and you want to create buttons and record messages. That's how you use the Boardmaker activity pad. This device would be beneficial for preschool and school-age children who are emergent and developed language learners. It provides children the opportunity to interact in a variety of activities in the classroom, community, and home. Due to its lightweight design, the device is portable for children. It also comes with a strapped carrying case in which the extra smart pockets can be stored. As mentioned before, the activity pad is equipped with 4 jacks for switches which can accommodate for motor deficits. Additionally, the key guard on the front of the device supports accurate button selection if fine motor deficits present. In regard to cognitive and linguistic skills, the activity boards are entirely customizable and can be designed with the specific child's skills in mind in the following ways. You can limit the number of buttons you use, you can control the types of pictures, the length of the utterances, the layout type, as well as the style in regards to single message output or sequential. In comparison to the other devices demonstrated in this video, the Boardmaker activity pad requires the most technology. Of the 3 devices, this device is perhaps the most appropriate for children in regard to its customizable and simplistic nature.
This device is the alternate spinner. The alternate spinner is a switch-operated device that allows for random message selection. The switch that operates the device is activated by the button you see here. Whenever I press this button, the spinner, located in the center of the device, will spin around and land on a random number. As you can see here, the spinner landed on 5. The alternate device is activated by this purple button, but it can also be activated by an external switch, which can be inserted into the outlet you see here. An external switch allows for multiple people to use the device, or allows for a person to be seated farther away from the device if they wish to use it. All alternate spinners come with a pre-made dice overlay. As you can see, there is an overlay located on the outside of the device and on the inside of the device. First, you remove the external dice overlay. Then you can remove the internal dice overlay by first removing the plastic cover. Then you remove the spinner. Last, you remove the internal overlay. As you can see, the alternate spinner is activated by 2 AA batteries. On the reverse side of the internal and external overlays is a blank customizable overlay. You can reinsert the overlays first by putting in the internal overlay and holding it in place with the spinner. Then you replace the plastic cover. Last, you reattach the blank overlay by inserting the tabs into their 3 allotted slots. Now that I have reattached the blank overlays, I can now customize the alternate spinner. For my activity, I chose to create a Simon Says game. I created these symbols using the Boardmaker software. Messages created for this device can be created using Boardmaker, by using photographs, by using letters, or by using any other message representation you choose. That's one of the features that makes this device so customizable. I will now attach all of the messages I created for the Simon Says game. Now that I have attached all of the messages around the perimeter of the device is now ready to be used. I will activate the spinner once again by pressing this purple button. The spinner will land on a random message. As you can see, it landed on head on, hand on head. This is how you use the alternate spinner. This device is suitable for all ages. However, this device is probably best suited for children, as the nature of the device is to be used for gameplay. A person using this device would need to have the physical ability to press the button or to activate an external switch. It would also benefit them to have the visual acuity to see the symbols or messages located around the perimeter of the device. However, tactile symbols could be used as opposed to picture symbols. This makes the device accessible also by those who are visually impaired. A person using this device would need to have the linguistic abilities to understand the messages located around the perimeter. Because the messages selected could vary, the linguistic abilities of the person using the device could also vary. Finally, someone using this device would need to have the cognitive abilities to understand the rules of the game the device is being used for and to follow directions. This device is similar to the Boardmaker activity pad and the eye gaze board, and that all of the devices can utilize Boardmaker software. However, this device is different from the Boardmaker activity pad in that it does not utilize speech output. This feature of the device is something that does make it similar to the eye gaze board, however, which also does not utilize speech output. Another unique feature of the alternate spinner is that the messages it uses can be varied. It does not have to use Boardmaker software, as the Boardmaker activity pad does. Once again, this is another feature that makes it similar to the eye gaze board, which can also use different message representation.
This is an eye gaze communication board. These devices are typically made from plexiglass and are held or mounted up and down like this one is, so that they can be seen from both sides. The boards have pictures or symbols that can be changed based on the person's specific needs or the topic being discussed. The symbols can be created using Boardmaker software or can be made of pictures or other symbol representation methods. These boards are typically used for those with severe speech and motor impairments. They are used for those who cannot speak or use their hands to point and select messages. Some of the populations that would be best to use this device are those who have cerebral palsy or ALS. To communicate with the eye gaze board, the communication user would focus their gaze on selected pictures displayed on the board. The communication partner would be on the other side of the board so that they could follow the AAC user's gaze to see what they are focusing on and therefore selecting. An eye gaze board can also be used with a head or hand pointer that the AAC user would use to select their messages. These accessories can be purchased online or made using a light or laser pointer that attaches to the person's hand or head. These accessories, as well as the board, will be demonstrated later on in this video. This way of communicating is different from the Boardmaker activity because it is no tech and can be used completely through eye gaze. It requires no fine or gross motor skills. It can be utilized if the person does not have the ability to use their hands or arms. It is also different from the Boardmaker activity pad because there is no speech output. However, that is a feature that makes it similar to the alternate spinner. I'll demonstrate how to use the eye gaze communication board. I will focus my gaze on my selected message, and my communication partner will verbally state the message I selected.
I want snacks. I want snacks.
I'll demonstrate how to use one of the accessories mentioned earlier in the video. This is the hand pointer. The AAC user would wear a brace on their arm. Attached would be a metal rod that can be used to select messages on the eye gaze communication board. This requires slightly more motor control than does just the eye gaze, as the person will need to be able to point to their selected message. We will now demonstrate how to speak a message using the hand pointer.
Pirates won.
This is another accessory that can be used with the eye gaze communication board. This is called a head pointer. The AAC user would place this over their head, making sure that the chin strap was secure underneath their chin. The strap can be tightened on either side. To use this, the person would need to be able to have control over their head and neck so that they could move their head to make selections on the board. My communication partner and I will now demonstrate how to use the head pointer. I'll first place it over my head and put the strap underneath my chin.
What snacks do you want? Peanuts and beer.
And that is how you use the head pointer with the eye gaze communication board.